Welcome to the Matt Chat channel. Thank you for joining me. Today, let me talk to you about some strategic planning for your life and for your business, and this applies in both areas. Look, every one of us need to know where we're wanting to end up. We need to have a destination in mind for our lives, for our families, for our business. And so when we think of that, we think of goals, all right? So the goals are the destination that you're trying to get to, and then the steps of how to accomplish those goals are kind of like the map that kind of give you turn-by-turn instructions to make sure you get there. And if you don't have this lined up and figured out, you may never get to where you want to be. And so when we talk about goals, the first thing I want to say is it's important to write your goals out. It's important for you to actually take a pen and paper and to write out those goals. And when you think about your goals, it's good to have some for your life on a long term, and then a short term, and then more like a present basis, or even a day-to-day basis. And usually we as human beings do best with sets of three. So 3 goals for today, or 3 main goals for this year, or 3 goals for the next 5 years, and however you want to do this, but it needs to be something that is going to really resonate and work for you. When it comes to those goals, you want to write them out, and you want to write them out in a positive way, because it's just a mindset that helps you. So if you want to be a healthy person, you'd write out, I am a healthy person. Then you're going to write out some steps that are going to help you to achieve that goal of being a healthy person. All right, now when it comes to goals, it's very important that you write them out. You write out positive statements, and then you're going to want to have some action steps of how to accomplish those goals. But in those goals, the best way to go about this is really something that many of you may already be familiar with, and you may not, and that's something called SMART goals. And there's all different ways of doing this, but the idea of SMART goals is that, first of all, the goal that you are trying to accomplish and that you write down needs to be very specific. Don't leave it vague. Don't leave it open-ended. It's too easy to wiggle out of it, or to not accomplish it, or not know if it's accomplished. So you want to be very specific with your goals. That's important. Number 2, you want to be able to measure the goals that you are writing out, or that you have. Because look, if you can't measure the goals, you have no way of knowing whether you accomplished them or not. So get very specific in the goals for your life and for your business. Make sure that you can measure them. And how are you going to measure them? What tools are you going to use to measure them? A lot of people, when it comes to health, they're going to say, well, I want to make sure and lose this many pounds, or I want to weigh this. That's one way of measuring it, but the truth is health is actually measured in a lot of different ways. And you may not lose a lot of weight, but you may have more strength, and you may have more endurance, and some of those things. So you need to find a way to measure those goals. Then you need to make sure they're achievable. Too many people have goals that are just, it's pure nonsense. And this happens really every year in January. New Year's resolutions, people make goals that aren't even really attainable or achievable. You need to make sure that it's something that you can accomplish, okay? Then it needs to be relevant to your life, relevant to you. Don't try to do somebody else's goals. Don't try to write something down that just somebody else is doing. Look at your life specifically, put some thought into it, and make sure that it fits you and what you're trying to accomplish. And then last of all, you need to have a time frame on your goals. So you don't want it to be open-ended. You don't want it to be something 10 years from now you're still trying to figure out if you did or didn't make it, or you're going to get around to it eventually. No, it'll help you with accountability and your commitment if it's time-based. So to say, in 6 months I want to accomplish this, or in 3 months I want this to get done. So make sure that it is time-based. Put a time frame on it. Even if you're not all the way sure what that time is, put something out there and shoot for it. And you may not even make it. It may be a little bit after that, but you're still accomplishing the goal. But try to have something that you can put out there as a time frame. So this will help to guide you. All right, these things are meant to give you something to shoot for and to work for, This is something that you ought to do first in your personal life. I'm going to tell you, it will do you no good to do this in your business if you can't do it first in your personal life. So start there, sit down, do some reflecting, and ask yourself some hard questions. All right, what kind of person am I now? What kind of person do I want to be? What needs to change in my life? And then say, okay, so what are my goals? And you need to write those out. Remember those positive, powerful goal statements that you're going to write out, and then you're going to say, how am I going to accomplish those statements in my life? And you're going to use the SMART goal process to accomplish that. Now, we call this really strategic planning, and it needs to happen in our lives and in our businesses. It's something that is missing today, which is why many people are not making it to the destination that they want to get to, because they don't really have a map, a road map to get there, and they don't really have a destination in mind. So where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? So hope this is a help to you. Look, if you'd say, boy, I could use some help in this area in my personal life or in my business, I want you to reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you some more with this in the comment section. Also, if you appreciated this, hit subscribe, and I appreciate you watching the Matt Chat channel.